And good morning from Scotty, Ray, and Candace. It is Tuesday morning.
Right, it is. How are you?
No, not too bad. We were just discussing before we went on how I look like Big Bird.
And I said I look like an Easter egg. We like Easter.
It is.
We don't look like fall.
This is bright.
It's not that bright. It's like a pale yellow.
Okay, well.
Like lemonade.
Lemonade?
Yeah.
And then the brown cowboy hat, just tan would have probably went better with that. I need to get another tan hat. That was my color for years.
It looks good. It looks good.
But how things change. Well, what you been into?
Not much. I kept my grandbaby yesterday,
Is it
most
good?
of the day. Yeah, and he was so sweet. He doesn't. I mean, he does not fuss at all. He's the best baby.
What's his
But
name?
it scared me so bad because, like, feeding him when they get a little gagged or something, it scares you to death. Even though I've had 4 kids of my own.
I can't do the feeding thing. Ask Angie. I panic like, here, take.
Oh, I was panicked. Like
ours.
when he got a little bit choked on it when he was drinking his bottle, and I was like, it was just like it scared me so bad. But he's sweet. He's
And
so
you
sweet.
still have to do the burping thing, right, on the
yeah.
back?
Yeah, and I'm one of those burp after every ounce, because I'm just a nervous wreck. But I had to give him a bath and everything. It's just so sweet smelling that little baby smell, so
Baby
sweet.
smell.
It is.
Sometimes
I
that
love
baby
it.
smell is stout.
Well, it can be at diaper
I'm just
time.
saying.
Diaper change time, but he's a good baby. He's
So,
good.
were you a cloth baby when you come along?
I don't think my mother,
sure?
she might have used cloth diapers. I know she probably did on my brother because he was 7 years older than me.
Because they didn't come out with what they got now until.
Yeah, I might have been a cloth diaper baby. All I know is I sucked a pacifier.
Till you were 12?
No, no, not till I was 12. But I mean, till I was like 3, I had a pacifier in my mouth. My mother said I had them stashed all around the house, so she threw one away. I'd come back in there with one.
That's just as bad as the thumb sucking. 'Cause
Yeah.
that is rough. And I've always heard take hot sauce and dump on the baby finger.
I know that's so mean.
But it'll cure it.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Sometimes you just got to man up, use your man card there on the kids.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway.
Coming up, we'll talk about the hurricane, which way it's going. And again, it's still got time to make some more tracks on different sides. We'll look at that in depth here in a little while. And Candace has got some great news stories coming up for us, don't you?
I sure do.
The Lauderdale County Farm Supply will be opening up the doors this morning, and they invite you by. They've been doing that since 1932. And, of course, with all the rain, you've heard me talk about this for quite some time now. If you're looking for boots, winter is coming, but the rain is also coming, and, well, you'll need some dry feet. And that's what they've got, any style that you would like to choose from here. The dry shod boots, you can get those in pink for the ladies or for the men, or you can get them a little bit shorter there where it doesn't go all the way up your leg. However you prefer there, but it'll keep you dry. They got plenty to choose from. Of course, as deer season comes in, we've talked about those Moultrie feeders with the built-in electric varmint guard. That'll protect your feeders, save you a lot of corn, because you know how they hang on there and they knock your corn out. Well, this will take care of that. That'll get them, deter them from hanging around your feeder. Also, all the different deer attractants, the power station from Rack 1, get you some great pictures. Deer love these. Great flavor, several to choose from. When it comes to cameras, if you're running low, don't have enough, go by and see them. And, of course, deer cameras, you can use these for surveillance around the house as well. If you need to see who's coming in and out of your driveway, if you've got a particular area that you want to take pictures, they're perfect for that and very affordable. Also, you can get, now, planting. Everybody's running tractors. I've been doing that myself. If you need seed, this is a place to head to the Buckmaster Seed Company. They've got fall seed mix. You'll love that. Also, you can get the latest from Southern Buck. Now, this comes with the purple top turnips, crimson clover, trophy grape, a few of the things, including wheat, that you would like in there. Now, if you're on the more traditional side and want to keep it simple and you want to mix your own, do your wheat, your ryegrass, your oats, they've got that also at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. The ground's going to be perfect for this over the next few days after this rain. As we take care of your, not only deer, of course, we've got cattle and we've got horses. They take care of all that. Any feed that you might need for goats, too, they do that as well. Down to your corn. All at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. And as you get ready for that, they have a complete gun department. If you need a new scope, you're needing a new gun, see them today. It's very affordable. And, of course, if you need ammunition, if you're going to be sighting in rifles, it's perfect for this. Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in and see them today. Exit 151 off the interstate is where you need to head to take care of all your hunting needs. They've got it for you. Well, the next question that we've got this morning is all about the weather. What's going to happen to our area? What do we expect? At this point, it does look like Sally keeps tracking a little bit further east than she has been. As we reported, there were some saying that she was going to be a Category 3 when she come ashore, and as I was saying you yesterday, that I still saw it as a 1, and that's still holding steady. She was a 2. I think at this point my models are showing that she'll be a 1 when she comes ashore. And let's talk about the effects of what it's going to have for East Mississippi, West Central Alabama, Butler, all of our folks over in Pennington, and our areas here. As we pull up what the National Weather Service tells us first, rainfall through tomorrow afternoon. It looks as though we're still in the elevated area. Now, we're on the west side of the storm, which is a whole lot better for our area. But we could get up to, say, 4 to 6 inches through Lauderdale, through Kemper. Clark's going to get that. We still have a 1 area here as you get up into Columbus out here to our west here. Half of Newton and most of Philadelphia, Neshoba County will be in that. But again, that's a whole lot better than it could be. We're going to get some rain, that's for sure. As we move forward, winds, how much are we going to get through that? The Laurel-Hattiesburg area is going to get the worst of this. That storm's going to be over here. This will be the west side. We will have a limited threat of gusts up to 35 miles an hour, which can break trees. And, of course, EMEPA will be on the side there standing by to get things rolling and get things back up should that happen, the power outages. But we're looking good. Elevated threat to the south of us, and we are in the limited threat area there with a lot of gust. As we look at what's going to happen today, mostly it's going to be on the southern Lauderdale County for heavier rain today down through here. The most worst rain will be around Laurel-Hattiesburg area, but southern Lauderdale County and southern Newton County is not excluded from this. This area here, Clark County, is going to get some heavy rain today and some showers up through Philadelphia and Kemper and up to the Macon area. That's what we're expecting. As we move forward, we look at the storms that are out there. Now, this is where Sally is right now. Paulette is not a threat to over right in here. Teddy has formed, and also Vicky, and we've got a separate storm that has a pretty high percentage, a 60% chance of turning into a hurricane there, a tropical storm. We'll watch that. We'll watch Teddy over the next few days as well. Now, as we look at this path, and I'll zoom in on our radar here in just a moment, this is what the National Weather Service shows us. When it comes in, it's going to hook to the northeast really quick. This is where we are. We're on that fringe area on the west side of the storm. The east side is always the worst. We're going to get some wind, but not near what it could be, so thank heavens on that. The warnings and watches, we've got it here on the coast of Mississippi, Alabama, and into Florida. We do have some tropical storm warnings here in Louisiana, but the most of this is still going to be from Mississippi over to the Florida line. So that's what we're expecting, an eastern turn. As you look at this, the hurricane warning, Biloxi, Mobile, Pensacola there, closer look there from the Weather Channel of how they're putting it out. As we move across here, tropical force winds, as you'll notice down here at the coast, and we get into these rings here, right here, what I just mentioned a moment ago, to where 40 to 50, 30 to 50 mile an hour gust in these areas, and the further you get toward the coast there, the heavier they get. When is the earliest that you could see winds arrive? And it looks like that's going to be sometime around 8 p.m. tonight. We will start seeing some of these winds move into the area. Up through here, the coast, 2 p.m. this afternoon. We'll get it later on in the day, so we'll watch that. Rainfall, as we look at that, see, we're on that fortunate side of this, on the west side of the storm, and on this side is worse. So we're expecting probably 4 to 6 inches. We'll get into that. I've got that laid out for you here in just a moment from our forecast. And that flash flooding, again, our area through there that I showed just a moment ago, the worst of the rain is going to be east into Alabama. So y'all be prepared in the Alabama areas. The key storm, I posted that a few moments ago of what they're saying of this. And, of course, the storm surge is very, very dangerous with this. And still, this is a hurricane. It could change at any given moment. It's not, the path is not 100% until just a few hours out. So we're watching what happens with it. But all models still show to the east of the Meridian area, taking the worst away from us. It does look like it's still in time for us to cool down. We'll get into your forecast in just a moment and show you just how cool it's going to be. We got some 70-something degree days coming. That's great. As we move forward here, Storm Prediction Center, as you'll see here on the Alabama coast, today is the worst. We have marginal, some light showers and maybe a pop-up thunderstorm here and there. That's going to be the worst today there, right at the Mississippi-Alabama line and over to Florida is going to be worse for today. So that's where we are. Now, what does our forecast call for today? 40% chance of showers after 3 o'clock this afternoon. Gust will begin at about 30 miles an hour. As I told you, it'll come in the afternoon. Gust of about 35 miles an hour, continuing in tonight for about 25 mile an hour. We have a 50% chance of rain after 1 a.m. Tonight. As we move in tomorrow, it gets a little bit more tricky. Tropical storm conditions possible as it makes its landfall early in the morning hours. Showers and possible thunderstorms after 1 o'clock. We could get up to 2 inches of rain tomorrow. As we move into tomorrow night, another 2 inches. That's giving us a total of possibly 4 inches of rain for us. Still gusty tomorrow night. As we roll into Thursday, we'll have a 60% chance of afternoon showers. Still very gusty of 25 miles an hour as Sally tracks on off to the east, and then we're down to a 20% chance of rain come Friday. So we've got a lot of rain in store for us. It's not over yet. We've got a lot of that going on. All right, let's pull up radar now and take a look at what we've got going on with radar. Let's pull that up. All right, here we are this morning. 76, by the way, this morning as we're waking up. It's not too bad there. She is at a 1 right now. She tracks. I've still got that tracking Wednesday at 1 a.m. as she gets ready to come ashore there. And as we zoom in on this is Pascagoula. Let's turn off radar where you can see this a little bit better. This is Pascagoula, and it's going to be to the east of Pascagoula and come in and cross 10 and track right on up through here. So we've it's going to be to the right of Moss Point, Saraland. It'll go that way and just curve on to the east there. And again, these tracks can change. Originally the track was way over here, and then it moved to about right here. Now it's moved east of Pascagoula. It's still going to be bad there, don't get me wrong, but the eye of it is going to come in about right through here. So that's our track. And again, all of this can change. It always does. It can move east. It can move back west right before it. But leaning more toward the Mobile side at this point. We'll watch that closely over the next few hours as she gets ready to make landfall. And again, this is in the afternoon here, 1 p.m. Wednesday, right there. So this is 1 a.m. as she gets ready to come ashore here. So be ready for this. We're watching it track in. It's a very dangerous storm regardless, and it had been predicted to be up to a 3 when it comes ashore. Still holding steady at a 1. All right, let's take a look and turn back on radar and see what all we've got going on this morning of rain and things of that nature as we turn that off and look at this. A lot of rain already on the Mobile area here. Biloxi, Pascagoula, the rain is coming. Fort Walton Beach, it's raining. Crestview, and then this is our watches in the morning. Here in the Meridian area, we are still, let me turn it back on, under a flash flood watch, and that's going to be until 6 a.m. on the 17th. So that'll be on Thursday. We'll watch that. Wayne County, still down here. It's still in the path of this, and these could change over the next few hours as to who gets what. We'll watch that closely over the next little bit as watches and morning changes as she makes a more defined track of where she's going to be heading. So that's what we're expecting here. So the weather is getting, it looks better for us each time they give us a new hurricane update. We've been fortunate this year so far, no direct hits that followed right up through the main inland up toward the Meridian area and all of this. We've been very, very blessed on all of this. So keep your fingers crossed that our luck holds steady on this. But all of our friends that are in this area, keep your prayers for them because it's going to be some very rough weather as it comes ashore. And hurricane season is not over by any means, by stretch of the imagination. We could still have a lot of storms in between now and when the season is over. Let's take a look here. Thunderstorm potential as you'll look at here as we pull this up. down in this area is our biggest chance of thunderstorms today. You see that? Some rough weather as this hurricane comes ashore. So that's where we are. Let's flip over this morning and take a look at this. This is live from the lighthouse in Biloxi. No conditions just yet. As you can see there, the trees are starting to blow a little bit there in Biloxi, and we'll keep checking on this. This is, you can find this anywhere. This is live from the lighthouse there in Biloxi. So a lot of wet weather. We're watching it very closely. I'll have more updates, and coming up, I'll give you your extended forecast in just a few moments here.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. As you were telling me just a moment ago, and I didn't realize Joe spoke yesterday. He was on the news?
Yeah, he did. He spoke. It was on Fox News, but I just caught a good bit of what he was saying. And I mean, he really did good. You know, a lot of times when we've seen him do all these interviews or do, you know, press conferences or whatever, when he's been out in public.
Right.
The small amount of times he's been out, but you know, he has all these little mishaps, and he doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I mean, he did pretty good. Now, he might have been reading off of a teleprompter, but he did good, you know. I thought.
Interesting that you brought that up. And I don't get to listen to a lot all the time, but I did catch a little bit of Rush yesterday. Mm-hmm. And he brought up Joe, and, you know, everybody says that Joe probably has a little dementia. And he was saying, watch what Joe does. He'll cut everything off at around 9 in the morning. No more interviews. He doesn't go any campaign speeches after 9 a.m. Mm-hmm. And what they say is if you got dementia, the later in the day, the worse it is. So the earlier in the day, the better he responds to things. And by 8 p.m., usually on the typical person that has it, it's in a bad way.
Yeah. And when I say he did good, I'm not saying I agreed with all the content of his speech.
Spoke well.
But he spoke well. There wasn't a whole lot of like mess ups and stuff.
You know, Joe's one of those that you could probably sit down and have a Coke with and strike up a conversation with him, get along with him, but, you know, his views are not in line with what I think.
Right.
But probably a pretty good person deep down.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure, you know, about it, but I know that even Bernie Sanders yesterday was talking about how it's time for them to start speaking about, you know, it's just all about bashing the other side right now. So he was even saying it's time for them to speak about what they're going to do and,
Step
you know,
up.
what they're going to bring to the table, because that's what people want to know right now. They want to know what you're going to do if you do become president. How are you going to fix these problems if there's, you know, present
Now,
yourself?
the next, I don't guess this would be called a conspiracy, but the word on the street is that right before the first debate, they're saying that Joe will probably announce that he has COVID and can't make it.
Well, I've been saying that all along. You know, I've been saying that I just thought that it's just too good to be true, you know.
Yeah, he's saying he's going to do it, but they say it'll never happen because they know that when he gets on that stage, it'll be all she wrote.
Especially if it's a live debate, and it is in the evening.
Yeah.
You know, and I was watching something, too, the other day that Nancy Pelosi was saying about the debate. She said she thought there should be no debates.
Of course she doesn't want one.
Did you see that? Where she said, I don't even think there should be any debates. Trump's not even worthy of having a discussion with and stuff. So,
Did you watch the one with him and Hillary last year?
Who, Trump and
Hillary?
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
It really was.
He held his own. She never walked away. You remember the jail comment? That was funny.
Yeah, I'd put you in jail. Yeah. Yeah. And I just think that people need to hear what people have to say. I mean, it shouldn't all be about what's written on a prompter.
Because you're going to be, as commander-in-chief, you're faced with things where you don't have a teleprompter. You don't have your aide. You're there. You're in the line of fire. You're it.
Yeah, and I often wonder, too, like, will they, you know, allow him to look at the questions beforehand and be, you know.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. It's Chris Wallace. If it was CNN, I'd probably say, yeah. Chris is pretty hardcore. He's going to be tough on Trump.
I hope he's tough on both of them, because that's what we need. We want to hear exactly what they had to say and what they're going to do. I mean,
And of course, Megyn Kelly made a name for herself last time. She had thought about that and threw out that woman comment to see, and he answered it with Rosie, of course.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. That.
yeah. But I'm anxious to see what's going to take place. I hope they do debate, because I think America needs to see that. And especially since there's people already voting. I mean,
Yeah.
And people need to know.
Absolutely.
Are they voting for the right person? Because some people might not know. I mean, if
There's
you
a
just-
lot of people that's still undecided out there.
Yeah, and even if they do think they're for one side or the other, because of what's going through the media,
Right.
they want to see firsthand.
Yeah, you want to hear
what's
out of their
coming
mouth.
Right, right.
So I agree with you, Candace. Look, as we start looking at things that are coming, I've got bad news for folks that are really into the peeps. Do you eat these?
I did not eat those, and I'm guilty of buying those a lot of times, like even the ones at Easter for my
Yeah, the little
kids,
yellow
because
chicks.
Yeah, because that was a good Easter basket filler, or like the little ghosts on top of cupcakes. They make a perfect
Yeah.
cupcake topper, or But I didn't care for them.
The bad news is the people can't go to work. And so there's nobody at the factory. So there is none for Halloween, and there's none for Christmas. That is costing that company something not to be able. This is
Yeah.
their time of year.
Yeah, I did not know too that like Cokes and stuff like that. I think maybe they ran out of can. Did you hear that?
There was
About
a
they ran
shortage
out-
of cans, yes.
I mean, it's just a lot of stuff's been impacted, but there'll be a lot of sad people about this.
Oh, I know. I'm not, because it's a little too rich for me. I can't handle.
I like marshmallows, just plain old. I love the little bitty marshmallows.
You do the fire thing.
We did do that. I would always set
I
mine
don't
on
care for
fire.
it.
It'd be like it'd be the color of this microphone. And I never could get that down pat. But we did do s'mores when we camped one time.
Yeah.
And stuff years ago. And
Right. The thought of this next thing just gives me the heebie-jeebies, because you look at the title of something, a product, what its name, and then you imagine what it would taste like. And Reese's peanut butter cups mixed with potato chips.
yes,
Word is that's going to be the very next thing that is coming out. So would you eat it?
I would not eat that. That does not even sound appetizing to me.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's just strange. But look for that coming to a shelf near you, most likely, along with the oatmeal Little Debbie cereal that'll be out in December.
Well, let me tell you this. We were in Walmart over the weekend, and in the checkout line, you know how they have potato chips up there and stuff?
Yeah.
They have Cardi B potato chips.
Is that singer?
Yes. Cardi B, the one that has the WAP song.
Oh.
Yeah. They have Cardi B potato chips. Potato chips.
I wish I'd have saved the bag. When I was in Kentucky last year, I brought Tyson Pompey back a bag of wrapping potato chips.
Oh,
and
really?
it had a wrapper on the front of it.
Oh, really?
It was funny.
Well, this says something about wrap on it, but then you turn it over on the back and it talks about being your best, feminine self and all this kind of stuff. It's like a lot of positive stuff that does not even
After all
remotely.
after that nasty song, she's going to be positive.
Right. I was like, I took a picture of it. I was like, I've got to take a picture of this after this video that I did witness the other night, which is horrible.
So you know what I'm talking about. This Cardi B, if you're wondering what we're talking about, she came out
Yes.
with a song, and Angie mentioned it to me, and I Googled the words to it, and oh my
I'm just going to
Lord.
put it out there. I hope there's no children watching. I don't think there would be. It is like video porn.
Is that what you'd call it? 'Cause
It
I hadn't
is.
seen the
It's
video.
like it's
I know the
hor-
words
Oh,
are-
you have not seen the video?
No, I just looked at the words.
It's horrible. I mean, it is horrible. I would never want my teenagers or
If it was
anybody.
somebody kin to me, I'd spank them. I mean,
I
because
mean, yeah,
that.
it's just like horrible. To idolize somebody like that, and then somebody have a product to where they're speaking about being true to yourself and you
Don't
know,
add up, does
all
it?
this uplifting. No, it does not add up. But anyway.
Shame, shame. We all know your name. As we're going to make some people cry with this next story. I mean, because this is like serious stuff. We've got a lot of bad news this morning. Canton Flea Market not happening this year.
I know there will be a lot of sad people. I have always wanted to go and never got a chance to go because every time it rolled around, it was like time for it. But
Yeah.
nobody I just didn't know when the date of it was, I guess. I never got to go. But
Angie went and has spent a lot of money over there.
we were
so.
just talking about that the other day, about it coming up. And I was like, oh, I'd love to go. But it's awful.
So it's a blessing to me is what I'm saying. That's all
You're
I gotta
going
say.
next year with her. You're going.
Oh, that would be like the end of me. I can't
She's gonna
imagine.
drag you along next year.
Years ago they used to have Sugarlock Day.
I've been to that.
Yeah, and that was the first time I ever saw chicken on a stick, way back in the early 90s. But do they still have Sugarlock Day?
I don't know, but when I went, that was the first time I've ever seen pork skins actually fried.
Oh, it's good.
They drop the skin in there and it just swells up.
Have you
it
tried
blows
them
up.
at
It's
Squealers? Because, they make theirs.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my
I love that.
And that
It
barbecue
sounds nasty,
sauce.
but they're so good.
Go ahead, Teresa. I like your stuff. As we look at our next story, this is the second nomination that Trump has gotten for a the what do you call the Nobel Peace Prize. So, is it a possibility? I guess there is a chance that he may get it.
I hope he does.
But
I
second
think it'd be a
person
good
nominated
honor
for
for him.
Let's see what else we got going on. Now, have you seen this popping up in the news lately?
I have not seen. This is the first I've seen it.
This is a postcard that was mailed in 1920, and I want to say it was in Pennsylvania. Is that Michigan? Michigan is where it went to, and it arrived in 2020 at the home of that address. And of course, they're long gone. And the people want to know how that happened. Well, as the post office digs deeper into this, they say there has been occasions to where something was hung in a machine and it falls out. But 9 times out of 10, somebody bought that at a garage sale and walked by and dropped it.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat though. It would be neat to see, even if, I've been to have you ever been to garage sales?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, my grandparents used to be like believers in going to garage sales all the time. And I would love to go and see, even as a kid, going with them,
We got to go early.
Yeah, oh, believe me, I know. When the daylight hit, that's when you were there.
I had an aunt, Aunt Estelle, that used to she was religious about it. Now that I'm older, I realize she was saving money.
Yeah.
But I can so remember as a kid making her husband stand up in front of a room full of people. Show them 25-cent britches I bought you, Jimmy. I'd like crawl under her sink now if somebody done me that way. But, she was proud of her bargain hunting.
Oh, yeah. In like estate sales where you get to see, you're walking into somebody's life.
Yes, you are.
When you walk into their home and you're, it's sad, but then it's kind of intriguing.
So, let me ask you this, since if it is an estate sale, there's no doubt. So how do you feel about wearing a dead person's clothes?
No, I would not buy clothes.
I
wouldn't buy. No, I wouldn't buy clothes. I don't want anybody else's clothes.
My nephew says it doesn't bother him at all.
Yeah, some people love to do that. I'm just not one. That's where I draw the line.
He got all of his suits for that. That's how, for interviews. That's how he saved money in college and done that.
And that's great. I don't know. And I guess I should never say never because one day I might have to. But I'm just saying, like, I like to see personal things like yearbooks that are signed. You get to see stuff in them. I just think that's so neat.
It is neat.
And my aunt, when she passed away, they had an estate sale, and it was sad to me because, on one hand, because people were going through things, but then it was neat that you could share it with people too.
And trust me when I say this, folks, you cannot take anything that you've got with you. It ain't going with you.
That's right.
Somebody in your family is going to end up with it, or an estate sale.
Right.
So don't greed gets you nowhere in the end, is what I'm saying.
That's right.
That's my whole point there.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, and I guess this next story would be greed to a degree, would it not? Isn't this what causes stuff like this?
Yeah. That's kind of...
This lady...
This takes...
I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
$800,000, would you take a saw and cut your hand off?
No, I would not.
Her and her boyfriend teamed up to do this, and she had. I can't imagine what you would do to yourself to make that first cut. She did it, and she threw the hand away. She goes to the hospital. They go back and find it, and they reattach it. Now, I'm not sure if it works, but she's not going to get the money. She's going to jail, and she's got a messed up hand for life.
That is just crazy. And like I said, it's like that gives a whole new meaning to. I give my right arm, except she gave her left hand. So.
That just blows me away that somebody would. You think how a paper cut hurts?
Oh, I know. That's crazy. That is just insane.
That's like the people that you hear about that are off in the jungle and they get caught up in a bear trap or something, and to save their life they've got to.
Yeah, to cut off their. That would be awful. Yeah.
Oh, That old girl got nerves of steel, all I can tell you.
Yeah, I just would never. I would not do that. I'm just saying, wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it for $1 million, and I just really wouldn't.
She almost had $1 million out of that.
Now Kurt might knock me out and cut my hand.
We'd like to say thanks for dropping by. Coming up, we're going to recap all the weather to find out what's going on with Sally. What's Sally up to? Oh, Sally Field is making her landfall here in the next little bit.
And there's another one coming behind it,
Yeah,
right?
it sure is. There's
Paulette.
several more back there. I want to say 20 or 21 has developed into something, so we're watching all of those.
Okay. I hope it misses us. Let's pray.
Ooh, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Right.
All right. Thanks for dropping by. We'll be back in just a moment with an update on the weather.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
Well, as we start recapping our weather here, as we said, we've got a lot of rain that is coming up as we look at our forecast and recapping what we've got going on today. 40% chance of afternoon showers, mainly after 3 o'clock is what we're looking at. And 86 for our high. It's going to be gusty, 30-mile-an-hour gusts into the afternoon hours, 50% chance of rain. Still gusty tonight. Tomorrow, a little bit worse as we bring in the brunt of what's happening with the storm. Tropical storm conditions are possible, depending upon what happens with it. Total of 4 inches over the next 48 hours is what we're looking at, which is better for us than the original 8 to 10 inches that was forecasted in the beginning, anywhere from 6 to 10. But it's down to about 4 is what we're expecting now. So looking better for us, and by Friday, all of this will be out of our area. As we go to our extended forecast, let's pull this up. Look at this. As I said, the cool down is coming. We start getting into the 70s starting tomorrow. 77 for a high. All the way through Monday, we've got the highest that you'll see there is about 79. 76 on Monday over the weekend, 77. Not bad. And it looks to be a great-looking weekend. So we've nothing to complain about. Not bad at all. But a lot of uncertainty with the storm as it comes ashore. Again, at this point, still predicting a Category 1 when she comes ashore. And the path can change. It's Mother Nature. Right now, it is leaning to the east, putting the Meridian area, Butler, Alabama area right here on the line in a lot better shape. Now, again, it's Mother Nature. It could twist and go back over. But at this point, we're still looking at that eastward turn. So great news on that. We have no complaints on it. We've been very blessed on this. A lot of rain this morning in Mobile, Alabama. If you've got to go that way for any reason, think about putting that off. It's just best if you could. We'll watch this closely. I'll have updates throughout today, throughout the night, as things get closer to keep you up to date with what's going on right here with Scotty Ray's weather. Again, thanks for watching this morning. Lots going on with it, and I'll always keep you up to date with the very latest.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by